According to the Harvard Business Review, we are in a trust deficit at work. When polled, 58% of respondents admitted to trusting a complete stranger more than their boss. Yikes! So as leaders, how do we close that gap? How do you go from untrusted to trustworthy? In this video, we're going to unpack just how powerful trust is and break down trust so that it can become a formula you can leverage. Hey there, I am Lindsay, a consultant who has worked at companies like Disney and Nike, and this is Corporate from My Couch, where I help you gain the capabilities and confidence to conquer corporate America. So first, I want to tell you a story about the power of trust. See, early on in my career, I was working for a nonprofit. The leadership wasn't convinced social media was going to be something they wanted to invest in. And they were hyper protective of the brand. So much so that when they did in fact hire a social media manager, they wouldn't let her post anything. The social media manager eventually went on maternity leave, and I raised my hand to take on the social media duties, which wasn't that much since we were limited on what we could do and couldn't do. Then I had a conversation with the communications director. He and I were on pretty good terms because throughout my career, he and I had the opportunity to get to know one another. He knew my passions both personally and professionally. I would say we developed a strong trust in one another because of the relationship we had. I explained to him what I wanted to do with the social media channels, how I was going to do it, and why I felt it was important for the company. I left the conversation with the approval to move forward, but it wasn't because he agreed to it because my plan was genius. He ultimately just said he trusted me. I started executing on my social media plan and things began to happen. So much so that when the social media manager came back from her leave, the communications director decided that she would report to me. Now, this was a slightly awkward situation, but this is what I told her. I have not done anything but execute what you have here in this document that you created for our strategy. The difference is that I was given permission to execute. My job from now on is to give you the runway to do what you need to do. So what's the moral of this story? I wasn't some brilliant social media god that came up with a better plan, but what I was trusted. Think back to one of your work experiences. How did having trust create for a better and more effective work environment? How did a lack of trust hinder your ability at work? Let me know in the comments below. So here we are talking about this abstract thing, trust. We know it when we feel it, but how can we intentionally go about creating it? That's where the trust equation can come in. The trust equation is a model created by Charles Green that includes 4 variables of trust. They are credibility, reliability, intimacy, and self-orientation. Now, the 2 rational variables are credibility and reliability. Why? Because these 2 pieces are more easily measured. We are able to get certifications and accolades that deem us credible. This could be a college degree or even a specific training like a PM Scrum Master, for example. Reliability can be measured by being timely. Does this person show up on time to appointments? And following through. Does this person do what they say they are going to do? For example, after a meeting, did this person provide you with the feedback to your presentation by the due date requested? Intimacy is the feeling of safety and security you feel when working with someone. How respectful are they when you are interacting with this person? How thoughtful? The more openly you express yourself with someone, sharing your human experience, the ups and downs of life, the more intimacy you're going to feel with that person. What's interesting is when studied, of all the variables in the trust equation, intimacy has proven to be the most important to all individuals. So if you're looking to gain more trust from your colleagues, here are a couple of ways you can improve the intimacy. First, demonstrate vulnerability. Open up about your thoughts and feelings to others. It's natural for others to follow, but someone has to take the first step. Let it be you. Second, be willing to lean into emotions. For example, if someone says they had a hard day, instead of brushing it aside and moving on to the next topic, Lean into the subject. And you can even ask questions like, tell me more. The fourth variable of the trust equation is self-orientation. A high self-orientation would be someone that is highly consumed with themselves and their needs. Someone with a low self-orientation will care more about you and your concerns. It's worth noting that in the trust equation, self-orientation is at the denominator, meaning it greatly can influence the level of trustworthiness. Now I want you to take a moment to reflect. Think about your boss or colleagues. How would you rate their trustworthiness using the trust equation? Why? How do you think they'd rate you? Let me know in the comments below. If you're still watching this video, thanks! Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. It helps motivate me to keep making more content like this to help you gain the capabilities and confidence to conquer corporate America.